Today I'm going to start this video with a little bit of a different situation. We do have my friend Mike here. He's on the phone with me today. He's currently in Tennessee, and he used to live here in California. He actually had a home that was very close to where the old fire took place in San Bernardino back in October of 2003. So I would like to get Mike here on the phone. I do have several questions for him, and I think everybody here that's watching this video is going to have a little bit more of an understanding of what it's like going through a wildfire and what steps that people will take in these situations and how long or the process that people take to be able to rebuild and bring back a community.
Hey there, how you doing, Harry?
Yeah, so one of the things that I wanted to get across to you is the fact that Mike, he had a construction business in San Bernardino, very successful construction business, a lot of years working in that industry. So he does have some background when it comes to that profession. And so one of the things that I would like to ask him overall, so you guys can get a little bit of an idea, is what inspired you to create your construction business over in that area?
Well, I guess what inspired me was I was in the trade for about 10 years working as a carpenter, and I really enjoyed what I was doing. And I saw the other contractors working for were making really good money at the time, good bucks, in the late 70s and 80s. And back when you worked hard, you got to keep a lot of that money. You got a bigger and better truck. And I go, you know what? I was a self-motivated person. I said, it's time to move up. I need to add some profits to my construction experience, not just swinging a hammer. So I went ahead and got my license. I said, I'm going to go for it, basically.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now, obviously, you were right in the middle of this whole situation with the old fire and it destroying a lot of homes in the area. And so what I wanted to know was, what was some of the biggest challenges that you faced during that period? I know that you had mentioned in the past you took part in the reconstruction of some of the homes in that area, correct?
Right, yeah, we sure did.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, at first, we didn't just hop into the fires, fire restoration, everything. Our company was doing really good, good steady pace of projects and everything. Everything was fine with the business. And then the fires literally came out of the blue that Saturday morning. But getting into rebuilding, we were already learning how to navigate, from concept design, we're working with homeowners, working with the cities, architects, completing projects, a good steady flow. So when the fires hit, we were in a real good, strong position to help new clients with the rebuilding. We had a good, strong reliance with our suppliers, with the city, many tradesmen. So it wasn't like hopping into something like, okay, what do we do? No, it was just a matter of shifting high gears and saying, hey, okay, guys, we got a lot of work ahead of us. Let's pick up, let's go into fourth gear and do it. But we were ready at that time, already doing it, just shifting gears to overdrive, you might say.
How long was the recovery period when it came to rebuilding these homes that you saw? Well,
at first, you have that lull, getting the fire department out there the whole bit and taking care of that. But the community did come together and they accepted us. Our first client was one of my subcontractors who worked for me. And he says, Mike, our house got burned down. I said, oh, man, I'm so sorry the whole bit. He says, we want you to rebuild it. I said, okay, me, but it's like so many other contractors know we want you. So he already knew we had a great team. We knew what we were doing because he's worked with us. And from him, it was one house after another. We were doing two at a time to rebuild them. So the community responded to us, good to us. We were local. They knew who we were. We weren't coming from out of state like a lot of guys were trying to come in like vultures and suck up insurance money. But we were there and people liked us. And
when you were reconstructing these homes, did you have a hard time because of the fact that this was in California? or was there any new features that you had to incorporate then compared to how the houses were built before? Or what trials and tribulations did you face reconstructing these homes?
Well, things went actually went a lot quicker. The city of San Bernardino was shocked. Went to high gear to help the residents. They cut down the approving time of blueprints for the fire victims. And like I received blueprints back from the city. I hadn't even been the job yet, and I was already approved. Places like the gas, electric, or water companies used to be like, you call them up and have a work request, and they say, guess what? Your paperwork goes to the bottom of the pile. Sit there, relax. Well, now they were saying, how soon do you want us out there? This cut down the time from weeks into literally hours. The next day, they said, we can have someone out there to hook up your gas, do whatever. This never happened before. And the insurance companies are also throwing around monies like Christmas, trying to get people to get fire victims back on their feet. Something happens. So all the projects we were doing out there got off the ground fast. I mean, really fast. It used to be 6 months. By the time you shook hands with the customer, broke ground, started the home, about 6 months. Now it was a matter of weeks. Well, not even weeks, maybe a week, and you got approved. Let's build. We go back at it. It was amazing.
So what you're saying is that California did take measures back then to be able to fast track the rebuilding over this disaster area versus any other time. If you wanted to, let's say you wanted to do new construction before these fires, you think that California would have treated those projects differently than they did after the disaster?
Oh, yeah. Before it might take if you had something approved, a simple tenant improvement in 30 days, that was amazing to happen. That was amazing. But San Bernardino was the one that really kicked into gear. We want our residents to get back in business. Part of our city got destroyed. So San Bernardino took it upon themselves. Let's rebuild and do it now. It was amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. And so I have another question for you is obviously your house was dangerously close to where the old fire was at. I remember one time you mentioned years ago that the fires were literally right behind your backyard, correct?
Correct. Yeah. We had a block wall, maybe a 6-foot block wall. We were evacuated twice. A new fire was started by some dummies who wanted to watch the fires, and their catalytic converter got caught fire, and they came down and went right behind. We had 80 homes, and went to the left, went to the right, and went on either side, and didn't destroy one home. Lots of smoke damage and everything, but there was 50-foot flames which we watched down the street, and just like, wow. I have my friend Gary. I said, Gary, wouldn't your house be right about there? He goes, yeah. And a few minutes later, he says, Mike, wouldn't that be your house right about there? I go, yep. And we're just standing there like, wow, what do you say? You just look at it.
Yeah.
It's a humbling feeling that we might not have anything tomorrow when we go back.
With your insurance company, did you end up having to do a claim with your insurance company? Did anything of nature have to take place?
No, we just did clean up ourselves. We had a few people try scamming the insurance company. They said they had smoke damage, and I had a buddy said, I got like $30,000. I'd go, for what? We claimed smoke. I said, hey, get yourself some 409, some wet rags, a broom, and clean everything up. And some people did try to suck some money off the insurance companies, which I thought was absolutely wrong. But we didn't claim one dime. We just knuckled down and used some elbow grease and cleaned everything up.
How long were you gone for? How long did you evacuate your home for?
Well, we evacuated one time, and they told us we'd come back. And then that night, we evacuated again. They had the sirens, everything, so everyone get out. And I was able to go to my son's house. He lived a good 10, 20 miles away, so we just spent the night there. But we were able to come back the next day. Thankfully, nothing got burnt down.
How close, let's say the vicinity of your home, Did any homes near the vicinity of your home get actually burnt down?
No, not right there. We had a big wash behind our area.
Okay.
But on the other side of the wash, a few miles, that's where the Del Rosa area was. Those homes got hit.
Oh, wow.
And the fire did travel.
Wow.
But it kind of stopped in the wash area. There was nothing else to burn, you might say.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched the fires from our backyard. You can see them off in the distance.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Man, that's it's really amazing. You don't really hear too many stories about people talking about their evacuation process or whether or not they have these different issues with the insurance companies. I know that you in particular, you're not the type of person to take advantage of these insurance companies. There's a lot of people that are. I've heard of different stories of people exaggerating to the insurance companies and get paid out a lot of money. The problem is that if they ever investigate these types of claims and they find out that they are fraudulent, a lot of these people can get into some serious trouble with the insurance companies and other entities. You had mentioned earlier in my other phone calls that I've done with you as well regarding public adjusters and your opinion on them, or you've actually dealt with public adjusters due to the fact of the nature of your work where you've had to rebuild homes. Can you give a little bit of a story behind that about your experience?
Well, the public adjusters, vultures wait till their prey is dead and then they eat it off the street. Public adjusters eat their prey while it's still living. I hate to say it like that.
Yeah.
But there's really, the public adjusters are supposed to be the advocate to protect the homeowner from the contractor, from the insurance man, and saying, well, we're going to make sure you get the best deal. We're going to make sure the contractor does everything in your house, make sure the insurance company pays everything for you. And they come out with love and caring so they can be the advocates of justice between insurance companies and contractors. Mm-hmm. In fact, they're basically ambulance chasers who listen to the radio, watch the fires, and they're able to suck up to 20% of the insurance money with their good deed because they have a $1,500 computer program that tells them exactly when it needs to be replaced on the house. But they don't have any liability, nothing. And basically, myself as a contractor, I dealt with some people with minor fires and said, Mike, how can you take care of it? I said, well, it's going to cost you $50,000 to fix. Okay, Mike, good deal. I'll get the insurance money. Let's shake hands and go with it. Well, they get their money from writing up a program. Same thing I would do, write up a contract saying everything needs to be fixed. And I don't get paid for that. Basically, the homeowners say, Mike, thank you much, but we can't afford $50,000. Well, they set it up so they do get their money for writing up. It's not a contract. It's just a scope of work. I said, as contractors do not get paid for a scope of work, but they get the money from the insurance companies. And basically, let's say you have a $200,000 policy back then. You have $100,000 worth of damage. Well, they get 20%. They get $20,000 for writing up a scope of work that you or me could probably sit down with the program and check. Yes, they need a new kitchen. They need a new oven, new this, new that. Give me 20%. That'd be $20,000. And they don't do anything.
Oh, wow.
Why? Yeah. Why is it going on? I wish I would get 20% for just writing up a proposal for somebody, but I never did.
Yeah.
I just hope to get the job.
Yeah.
But they got their money. I go like, why were the insurance companies paying these guys? Yeah. Why?
Did you find it helpful or challenging dealing with these public adjusters? What was your experience?
Basically I chased them away. And I had, a quick instance. I had a buddy down the street from me, a great guy. He had a small fire in his garage. He called me up, Mike, hey, can you come down? I said, okay. I looked at it. I said, okay, your electrical box is bad. I said, I can have one of my guys come down here and fix you up, take care of you so your house can get running again. Yeah, I appreciate it. He says, who are these guys standing at the curb there? I go, oh, they're public adjusters. They're going to walk up to you, shake your hands, and say, hey, we're going to take care of you and make sure you get a fair handshake on the deal with your insurance company and contractors and that. He says, really? I said, absolutely. I said, John, the damage you have here, I'll work out a deal with you. You're my friend. You're my neighbor. Let's work a couple Saturdays to fix your place up again. It's not that much damage. But the public adjusters would actually walk onto the property, talk to them. Hey, we can help you. We'll make sure you get money. You do this. He basically told them, get off the property. Another one would come on. He told them, get off the property. Another one came on, told them, get off the property. And they just want to get their 20% of the insurance money. And they're just hungry to make a dollar, even if it's a small job.
Basically, from what I'm hearing is that your recommendation to anybody that's dealing with these types of situations is to pretty much get rid of the public adjuster and just tell them to leave?
Correct. And the best way, if you do have damage, and you give the scenario, the little old lady, she doesn't know what to do. What did I do? My kitchen burned down. Oh, the public adjuster put his arm around me, told him, we're going to take care of you. We love you. Don't worry about those bad contractors. Don't worry about the bad insurance people. We're here to help you. And, of course, you're under duress and go, where do I sign? I just need you to help me. When actually you can say, hey, you can call your friends and say, good contractor, let's get some references, which the contractor board already tells you. Get 2 or 3 quotes, references, and the whole bit before you do anything to your house. It's just typical. But when you're under duress, things are different. If you were going to remodel your kitchen, yes, you would automatically call 3 contractors, check their references, talk to your friends. You know who this guy is. But since now that you have fire or flood damage, you're under duress. And, I guess I just signed the contract with this public adjuster, and he's going to help me. I don't know what to do. So it's ambulance chasers. That's all they are.
And what are some issues, like common issues that you saw with the homeowners and the insurance claims overall? Did you see anything in particular over and over again, like a common pattern with insurance companies?
Well, there's one thing. It goes all the way back to when you get your policy.
Okay.
You get a brand new house. You happen to move in. You go down to State Farm Farmers and say, okay, I got a new house. They punch it in. Okay, you got so many square feet. Okay, we can insure you for this much money. This is your payment. Oh, great. You write them a check. Okay, great. You're covered. Wonderful. Mortgage company's happy. Everyone's happy. So what happens with the old fires, this is back 2003 prices, a house might be covered for $200,000, a replacement policy. Well, it's not really a replacement policy. They will replace it up to $200,000. So if you have $100,000 worth of damage, they replace it $150,000, $175,000. But once it's over $200,000, oh no, it's not replacement. But yes, it's a replacement policy. No, sir, it's not. We replace up to $200,000. We don't replace up to $300,000 or $400,000. And with the old fires, people were dealing with old premiums that were only worth so much, maybe $150,000, and now it's going to cost $250,000 to replace. And the insurance companies weren't giving in. And they said, well, you have a replacement. And they didn't understand that replacement, once again, was only up to the number that they were being covered for. So what happened was the insurance company, you have to imagine 200 homes, everyone's barking at the insurance companies. I need more money. I need more money. So one insurance company would give in, okay, we'll give you another $25,000. And they literally would tell their neighbor, I just got another $25,000. And they talk to their insurance company. Well, my neighbor got 25. I want 35,000. So they gave in a little, okay, we'll give you 35. Well, let's say you had an outer building. Let's say you had some diamond rings. Let's throw that in there, something else. So everything started inflating up fictitiously. Okay. And the insurance companies were just giving in because there were so many houses at one time. And it's not like today when the insurance companies get smart, like, hey, no, sorry, this is where your policy stops. So, but during the old fires, people were getting a lot of extra money and making up I should say the insurance companies are making up fictitious numbers, saying, okay, we'll give you another $10,000 for this, another $5,000 for this. Eventually, okay, we have enough money to pay the contractor. So that was a problem back then. I believe the insurance companies have woken up and said, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't. They have to read their policies.
Yeah.
Have to read and know what the value of their house is.
Yeah.
But people don't review their policies up to date.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I think it's very important. I think I've mentioned that before in a past video of mine about people having to review their insurance policies at least once a year with their broker.
Right.
You know, making sure that they're up to date, or just in general, any insurance, whether it be auto insurance or home insurance or umbrella policies, life insurance policies. Maybe there's beneficiaries in there that you no longer want, or maybe there's certain things that maybe you don't have anymore that you can remove coverage for. I know that a lot of people, especially with vehicles, if they have full coverage, maybe they just want to go liability only. So that's things that you do have to remember to do at least once a year, to just look at your policies, maybe spend, an hour just looking at your policies and making sure that everything looks legitimate. If something feels not right, give a call to your broker, review it with them, get the opinion of your broker as well. Maybe they have some sort of opinion on your policy, how you can save some money as well. But I think that everything's very expensive right now. Insurance is just super expensive. And so a lot of people are just foregoing. I personally know several people that own a property outright and have no insurance on their policy. None. Wow. Because a lot of people, the reason why they're carrying the insurance is because it's automatically tied in to their mortgage payment. So if their mortgage payment is tied into the insurance and property taxes, in a way, they're forced to pay it automatically. And if there's no insurance in place, the mortgage company will find the insurance and make sure that you find a way to pay it somehow. So either way, you're insured. But for all these people that are mortgage free, sometimes they forget to pay the property taxes and they don't even bother buying an insurance policy because they forget. They pay off the home and they say, oh, wow, now I got no mortgage. And so sometimes the insurance just goes by the wayside. I've seen that happen a lot. So, yeah, and then they have a problem. Maybe they have theft, or maybe they have a fence go down because of strong winds, or, maybe something with the roof, and then they got no insurance. So now they have to either endure the consequences and patching these things up on their own accord, or they just have to live with the consequences. So it's really bad. All right, so one of the other questions that I have here for you is how people can prepare for future wildfires. What are your thoughts and opinions on that?
I'll probably talk to you a little bit on the insurance end maybe here.
Okay.
Since they're so unpredictable between floods and fires and mudslides and the whole bit.
Okay.
What we did at our place.
Okay.
And number one, when there were the old fires, I looked at people struggling with their insurance. And so I went down to State Farm and said, okay, how much am I insured for? They're so bad. And they did it on the computer and they looked, came up with a number. I said, I can't rebuild my house for that price. And they said, really? I said, no, I have to demo it. I have to get new utilities. I have to get the architect. I have to get permits. I said, I can't do it. I said, I'm doing it. From the old fire, I know how much it cost. So I said, this is what I want to be insured for. And I really increased it. And I said, how much is it going to cost me? She said, it was like $7 a month. I said, where do I sign? And I had to really go over my policy. And the thing is, if you're not familiar, like I was as a contractor, call a couple contractors up, talk to somebody, and say, what would it cost for me to rebuild my house if I gave you a blank check and you're going to rebuild it completely? You're going to demo it, which lots of people don't think about. It has to be demolished, and you need permits for that, to do that. The whole thing, have the contractors say, hey, it's going to cost you $400,000. Hand me a check. 6 months now, you can have a beautiful house. Okay, that's what you need to be insured for. You have to figure that way, what it will really take to fix your house. And you take like the people in North Carolina. Okay, they lived miles away from the ocean and everything. And guess what? You know what happened in North Carolina, people, all the floods from the hurricanes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if possible, if you can afford it, get flood insurance, an earthquake policy. I know they cost a lot, but like the people in North Carolina, they never thought about having a hurricane coming through their backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them did not have flood insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And earthquake in California, yes, that costs a lot, and it doesn't really give you that much coverage. But if you don't have something, insurance companies are not going to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta, how would you put it?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the insurances for everything. That's why they have blanket coverage, which costs a lot of money, but sometimes the blanket coverage covers everything.
I think it's everybody's discretion. I've gotten a lot of comments over the past several videos that I've done regarding insurance about a lot of people actually saying that they can no longer afford insurance, or a lot of them say that they are not going to purchase it, or that it's just getting out of control. Their budgets are being strained because of the high insurance policies. And a lot of people are actually losing faith in these insurance companies, because what will happen is they might actually pay out your claim, but then they'll drop you as a client right afterwards. And so that's actually becoming very common now, where a lot of these insurance companies, they no longer want high risk. So they're willing to take your money month after month, year after year. But as soon as you do one claim, that's it. You're done. That's automatically a red flag, and you are pretty much dropped. Now you have to find an alternative. So that's actually becoming very common. I've seen a lot of people over the years complain about that situation in particular, because that has actually been happening for several years now. And then also you have large insurers that are no longer willing to insure certain areas, just like what happened with the Pacific Palisades, where the reason why these insurance companies decided to leave was because California did not allow them to continue raising their rates to be able to charge the proper premiums that they thought that they would be able to command. So in case a large wildfire did come in, they would be able to afford to pay some of those claims. So the fact that California prohibited for them to be able to raise their rates, they said, you know what, forget it. It doesn't make sense for us to continue to collect these premiums. We're just going to go ahead and pull out of the state. Let them find their own insurance. And so that's the situation why there's a lot of those homes that now people are going to have to bear the cost to be able to rebuild if they have the money for it. So, yeah, those are the observations that I've seen. And I think that you can pretty much attest to the fact that that has been going on with other people that maybe you know.
Yes. Yeah, it's a shame. Another thing, too, which caused the insurance rates to go up, you had that city, I believe, in California that got burnt down, a couple of years ago. I forgot the name of it. Up north a little bit. And the whole town basically got wiped out.
Okay.
And I talked to my friend who's in the insurance industry. He's way up there now.
Okay.
And I said, Larry, how much does it cost per square foot to rebuild some of these homes, especially you have a whole town basically? And he says, right now, contractors are charging $500 a square foot.
Wow.
I go, excuse me, Larry. No, not 500. No, that's impossible. That's a North Hollywood movie star house. He says, Mike, $500 a foot. I said, that's insane. I said, are the insurance companies paying for that? He goes, yep. I said, that's incredible. $500 a foot?
Yeah.
I said, that's... So, and that went on for a while.
Yeah.
Contractors were charging a lot of money. Insurance companies were paying for it. Yeah. And in turn, insurance companies now are trying to recoup their monies.
They are.
We lost $1 billion, and how can we recoup it somehow?
Yeah.
Either, like you said, move out of state and or raise the premiums.
Exactly. That's actually what's been going on. And so unfortunately, because of everything that's been going on, all these natural disasters, you have Hurricane Milton, Hurricane Helene, now you have these wildfires, Pacific Palisades, Eaton Fire, and you have all these other natural disasters around the United States. All of that is going to go ahead and cause everybody to have larger insurance premiums to the point where they're straining people's budgets. And so now that's causing people to just spend less money overall on other things. So
correct.
It's getting very, very bad out there. Is there anything else that you want to add regarding your experience that maybe you think that will help people? Any other suggestions?
Be prepared, and talk about it. Yeah. Talk about it with whoever you're living with or by yourself. Mm-hmm. What do I do? Where do I go? Mm-hmm. Make sure things are in order. Mm-hmm. That's the big thing. Mm-hmm. You don't go on a trip across country and after 10 miles, wow, I should have changed the oil. Mm-hmm. I should have a mechanic check the brakes. Mm-hmm. No, you do that all ahead of time before you start your trip. Mm-hmm. Well, the same thing with your house. Just make sure things are in order. Mm-hmm. And if you're not sure, ask a neighbor. Oh, mm-hmm. by the way, you lived here 20 years. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen a major fire or an earthquake or a windstorm? And find out from your neighbors and say, oh, yeah, back 5 years ago, we had this problem. And go, really? Mm-hmm. Maybe I should be insured for that. Never thought about it. Mm-hmm. So ask around. Neighbors are good to find out what's going on.
Yeah, well, the thing is you're right. I think one of the things that the lost art between the newer generations is the fact that a lot of people don't communicate as much as they did before. You have the older generations that I feel are more apt to be able to communicate with their neighbors on a more regular basis versus the new generation of people now. I feel like they don't want to have that, they don't take that extra step to make sure that they communicate with their neighbors regularly. They want to do everything online, and they don't have the communication skills like previous generations do. And yeah, that's one of the things that can actually save you. If you have a neighbor's phone number and you have an emergency, you can get a hold of them right away, especially if you reached out to them at least once here periodically. You have a better chance to develop a better communication with your neighbors. Yeah, no, I think that's actually probably some of the best advice that you can give someone, is to be in constant communication with your neighbors about things going on in the community. You can find out if there's certain things going on, so you could be more aware of your surroundings. We're going to leave this video here. Thank you for continuing to watch my channel. We'll continue to provide good content that we think will make you a better person and provide you good advice. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.